Today I'm going to be showing you my top 5 favorite concealers from Sephora. I've tried a million concealers from Sephora, and these 5 are the superstars out of the entire store. I also work at Sephora, so that's why I've tried them all. So without further ado, let me show you what my top 5 favorite concealers of all time are. First up, I have the Dior Forever Skin Correct Full Coverage Concealer, and I have the shade 1.5 Neutral. This concealer is a transfer-proof full coverage concealer that delivers up to 24 hours of wear and hydration. It visibly corrects blemishes and reduces the look of under eye circles. There's 30 shades and this retails for $40. And the packaging is absolutely adorable. It looks like a mini version of the Dior Forever foundations. So I love this concealer because of how creamy it is. It blends out so beautifully, and there's so much hydration in the formula that I feel like my under eyes always look hydrated when I wear this concealer. And I feel like it has a medium consistency, so it's not too thin and it's not too thick. So it covers absolutely everything that it needs to, from dark circles to blemishes to even brightening. It looks flawless on the skin. It wears beautifully on top of foundation. Every time I wear this, I feel like I love how my under eyes look, and even if I wear it by itself for a no makeup look, it looks beautiful on the skin. It's not drying and it does not crease. This concealer is amazing for dry skin, but also any skin type can wear it because it doesn't have an oily formula, so people with oily skin can also enjoy this concealer. Although it's a little bit more on the pricey side, I do think that the concealer does exactly what it needs to, and even though you're paying a little bit more for it, at least you know it's gonna look beautiful on the skin. 10 out of 10, I definitely recommend this concealer for anyone who wants a medium to full coverage concealer that makes your under eye look super bright and hydrated all day long. And when I apply concealer to my skin, I always start off by applying it and then blending it out with a brush, and then once it's nice and blended out, I go back in with a sponge and then I tap it into my skin to really give that flawless appearance under the eye. And it really makes a big difference when you apply your concealer. I love this one. I mean, look how it looks on the skin. And that is the Dior Forever Skin Correct Full Coverage Concealer in a nutshell. Next up, I have the Haus Triclone Skin Tech Hydrating and Depuffing Concealer with Fermented Arnica. That is a mouthful to say, but I absolutely love this concealer so much. The Haus foundation is one of my #1 foundations of all time, so I was so excited when this concealer came out. This concealer has 31 shades and it retails for $32, and I wear the shade 11 Light Neutral. This concealer is actually a clean concealer, so the ingredients are clean and it's certified by Sephora itself. It has a natural finish, but it's also super hydrating. Listen, the wear on this concealer is amazing. Throughout the day, your under eye is gonna look hydrated just like it was when you first put it on. It has a medium coverage, so it helps to cover up dark circles and blemishes. It wears beautifully on top of foundation, but you can also wear it by itself, and it blends into your skin like magic. It has a ton of skincare ingredients in the formula as well, like niacinamide, fermented arnica, and hyaluronic acid complex. All these ingredients are meant to hydrate, depuff, and remove the redness in your skin. So the more you use this concealer over time, the more skincare benefits you're gonna have. The website says that this concealer visibly blurs, brightens, and conceals with a medium buildable coverage that depuffs after 2 weeks of daily use. So that's a really big claim, but I have to say no other concealer on the market has that claim. And in my humble opinion, I really think that this concealer is amazing. I just love how it blends out onto the skin. This concealer is great for any skin type. Since it has a natural finish, literally anybody can wear it. The consistency of this concealer is also on the medium side, so it's not too thin, but it's not too thick. I've also used this concealer to prime my eyelids, and it works beautifully to do that. And I wear this concealer all the time, and I'm always pleasantly surprised when I go to take off my makeup of how good it looks still. Definitely a 10 out of 10. I just love Haus in general. I think their products slay so hard. So I'm so happy that this new concealer works beautifully. I definitely recommend, if you're looking for a concealer, you should definitely try that one out. And so many people out there will love it. This is a good one right here. Next up is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Listen, I know this concealer is a little bit different from the others, but I'm telling you, it is amazing. I wear the shade Affogato Light 1.25. This is a full coverage, oil-free concealer that has a matte finish. Plus, it's also vegan, so shout out to you, NARS. And I'm telling you, the formula in this concealer is so unique. It's a little bit more on the thicker side, but if you want to cover up acne, this is the concealer that's going to cover it up the best, hands down. Even though it has a bit more of a thick formula, it does not mean cakey at all. This concealer is not cakey. cakey. It blends out beautifully while also being full coverage. But how I use this concealer is I use it as an eyeshadow primer, and it works so unbelievably good for that. That's why I say this product is so versatile. You can do so many things with it. You can use it to conceal and even prime your eyelids. This concealer is also perfect for any skin type, but mainly normal, combo, and oily skin will love it the most. And even though I'm a dry skin queen, I still love it so much. It's just an oil-free concealer, and there's not many oil-free concealers out there, so if you have oily skin, I know you're looking for an oil-free concealer. And plus, the concealer also has hyaluronic acid in it, so you know it's not going to be drying at all. This concealer also wears beautifully throughout the day. I'm telling you, it lasts all day long. It does not crease, it does not budge, it stays in place, and it looks perfect all day. This is definitely a soft matte finish, hence the name soft matte concealer, so that means that it's not going to be super matte, and it's going to lean more towards a natural finish. And even though it's in a little jar and it's a cream formula, that does not matter because of how beautiful this concealer is. How I like to apply it is I take a brush, I dip it straight into the little jar, and then I just apply it to my skin and blend it out with a brush. Then of course, I always go into my concealers and tap it in with a sponge after, just to blend everything in and give my under eye a flawless look. I use this concealer to prime my eyelids for this eyeshadow look today as well, and I think it did perfectly. And honestly, this is my go-to eyeshadow primer. I use it every single day to prime my eyelids for my eyeshadow looks, and I seriously cannot go without this concealer. I cannot tell you how many little jars I've bought of this because I think it is seriously perfection. And I love, love, love it. It's so versatile, it's so beautiful, so creamy, so blendable. It does not crease, and it literally looks flawless under the eye. 10 out of 10, definitely recommend this one. Love her. I'm having so much fun talking about my favorite concealers with you today. These are the best concealers, I'm telling you that right now. Yours over there is not real, and I'm telling you that right now. That's what I feel like when I just said that. I'm having so much fun hanging out with you today, and if you're enjoying this video so far, you should go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps support me and the channel a lot, and that way we can become besties. Love that for us. Alright, we have 2 more concealers left. This next concealer is definitely on the top of my list, and it's the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Concealer. I have the shade Silk in this concealer, and it also retails for $36. And there's also 22 shades in this concealer. Listen here, I'm obsessed with the formula of this concealer. It is perfection, it is full coverage, and so extremely hydrating. And it also has a natural finish, so it's not too matte, which I love for a concealer. And it's also perfect for any skin type, literally. Dry, oily, combo, anything in between. You are going to love this concealer. The way that it blends out is unlike any other concealer. It literally melts into your skin. You can see I'm getting so passionate about this concealer because it's so beautiful. I'm actually wearing it today. And do you see how beautiful it looks? I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong with this concealer. The website says that this is a full coverage, weightless, and waterproof concealer with micro spherical powders that blurs and brightens up to 16 hours of skin perfection. And listen, when they say skin perfection, they mean skin perfection. It wears beautifully on top of foundation, and of course you can wear it by itself, and it just looks flawless. That is the correct word to describe this concealer. Flawless. And since this is a full coverage concealer, you do not need to use a lot of this at all, which is wonderful because then you know this concealer is going to last you a long time because a little bit goes a really long way. The less of this product that you use underneath the eye, the better it's going to look throughout the day. Even though it's full coverage, it is not cakey, it is not dry, it just looks wonderful on the skin. I find myself reaching for this concealer so often out of all my other concealers. It just feels so lightweight and hydrating on the skin. Definitely a go-to in my collection. I love it so much, and I mean you can see here how good it looks on the skin. And it's overall just a wonderful concealer. But always remember one thing, less is more for this concealer because a little bit goes a long way. Definitely a 10 out of 10. Of course I recommend her. She's gorgeous. She's everything that I need in a concealer. Absolutely stunning, flawless, beautiful, and everything in between. I think you will really love this concealer concealer because I know that I do. Alright, so this last concealer is such a slept on concealer, but it is literally amazing. I have the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Luminous Matte Buildable Coverage Crease Proof Concealer, and that is a very long name for a concealer. But who cares? I love this concealer exactly the way that it is. Long name and all. This concealer has a 5-star review out of 4.7 thousand reviews on the Sephora website, so you know this is an amazing concealer. And I don't know why it doesn't get the hype that it deserves, because it is perfection. I don't even care if you don't believe me right now. I'm going to say it until I can't speak anymore. I love this concealer. I love it. And I was not expecting to love it when I first tried it. Honestly, I wasn't. I know that kind of sounds shady, but it's true. The Huda Beauty foundation is just a little bit too thick and matte for me, so I was expecting not to like this concealer because I thought it would be similar. But listen here. I could go on a whole rant of how much I love this concealer. You can tell I'm going a little crazy. But when I'm passionate about something, I will let you know. Anyway, this concealer is available in 29 shades, and it also retails for $31. I wear the shade Coconut Flakes 2.7 Neutral. This concealer is vegan, it has full coverage, it's waterproof, it's long wearing, and it also has a matte finish. So love that. The description says it's a buildable, creamy formula that can flex from medium to full coverage while it visibly brightens and conceals. It's fragrance-free, long wearing, crease-proof, and made to move with you. I totally agree when it says that it can flex from a medium to full coverage concealer, because it definitely can. The formula is super thin and lightweight, so it feels amazing under the eye. And I'm telling you right here, this concealer does not crease at all. And it lasts all day long, and it still looks flawless at the end of the day. When I go to take off my makeup, I'm like in the mirror like trying to find the creases in this concealer, and I can't. This concealer looks so good on my skin every single time. It blends flawlessly on top of foundation. I wear it by itself. I use it as an eyeshadow primer, and it slays for all of those things. This concealer is also great for any skin type. Literally anybody will love this concealer. Just try it. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. This concealer just deserves so much more love. It's so good. It's so slept on, and for what reason? I don't know. And if you try it out, you will also see what I'm talking about. Like, you will understand the hype, and you will understand that it needs more hype. This is the most slept on concealer in the entire Sephora store, and I don't care what anybody says. This is my little Huda baby, and I love her. Of course, this concealer is a 10 out of 10. I love it so much. And if you're looking to try a new concealer, I definitely recommend this one. I think that you will love it. Miss Huda Beauty, you are amazing. You outdid yourself, huh? And that's it. These are my top 5 favorite concealers from Sephora. These are my concealer babies. Out of all the concealers that I've tried throughout the years, these are my top 5 favorites that definitely stand out to me. They make me feel so good about my makeup every single time I use them, and my under eyes have never looked so flawless. And of course, I've linked these 5 concealers down in the description box just in case you want to go ahead and check any of them out. All the links are there for you right in the description box. And that's all I have for you today. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite concealer is, or if you've tried out any of the concealers that I mentioned in this video, and let me know what you think, because I need to know if you love it as much as I do. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Oh, and if you enjoyed today's video, you should definitely subscribe so that we can become besties. Bye!